think you're gonna know who did what. You think you're gonna know what happened, but that's not the case at all. It's just a complete circle. Everything.
I am Shannon Green, trainer at Fake Fitness. Stay tuned for my video right here on Social Goals.
Say one thing before we started the show too. You're not having a good time. If you're not having a good time, you're wasting your time. You say that every night.
Situationships, and all things. Thank you so much.
Daddy Yum Yum, 265 gallons of pure milk chocolate. And you are watching the Social Goals.
All right, y'all. We on episode number 2. We getting Shady and Shake in the building. There we go. Yo, what up? What up, Shake?
Well. Look who it is. It ain't old Shady himself. What's going on, Doctor?
What's going on, bro?
Yeah,
You know, this the Valentines Day Edition, man. You already know what we're going to get into today. What's going on?
Oh, George. Love is in the air. I feel so excited.
All right, man. We're going to go ahead and hop right on into this, huh?
Well, it might as well. I mean, we might as well enjoy our time.
All right. Once again, we appreciate everyone for tuning in to the Shady and Shake Hour on Mondays at 6 p.m. Once again, I am Shady Will, and you already know that's the famous Shake over there. And, you know, whatever else he want to be called, he hate it. Hey, man, it is what it is, though. All right, man, we want to talk about now, and we want to get it from, are we this information from a biblical standpoint as well, sir?
That's all I can give it to you.
All right.
You both ways.
So our first question, first topic of discussion. Once again, we are here. Our goal is to give our opinion and talk about how we feel on the perspectives that we are actually talking about. First question, are women entitled? Go ahead, Shake, what you got?
Or do they feel entitled?
Do they feel entitled? Do women feel entitled? My bad.
Oh man, yeah, not all, but some do. Some have this fixation in their mind that they feel entitled to a lot of things. Not all, but some really do. They feel like it's supposed to be given to them. Not all, but some of them have that fixated in their mind. What a man should do, this is what a man should do. This is what makes a man, and if a man ain't doing this, they feel like all this entitlement what a man should do should come. It's like they should be given automatically.
Interesting. And this is just based on life's experiences?
Well, you gotta look at 2023. I mean, let's just be honest with you. I mean, in the dating pool of today, I hate to say it, but it's kind of contaminated. You
Mm.
know, both parties say from both perspectives, male and female. But since we talk about the female perspective, yeah, I mean, I get it. You have, I get things that you want. I get all that. But at the same time, you know, most men. I'm gonna tell you what men have. Me being a pastor and have a conversation with these men. Their response to me is, uh, I'm not have said I have a daughter. I don't need. I didn't require another one. That's that's what they telling me. Some have said I give when you haven't earned. You know, some have even told me they got to be praised. I'm gonna tell you what they telling me. In my opinion, I think standards that have been set through the eyes and the views of social media, through the eyes and views of certain women, have played a course in that. Because if you go back to back when we was young, back in our Thundercat days when we was Thundercat, uh, you didn't have this type of situation because what's understood didn't have to be expounded or explained. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when we was coming up, dating chick, certain things was given because that's your woman. She didn't have to require sex, because you felt the need to give it because that's your woman. Now these days, they, some not all women come in there feel like you got to give that in order just to even be with them or have a conversation. Do I agree with that? Nah, I don't think all like that, but I do think some are like that.
Mm. Well, I
What you think?
mean,
Say you think?
oh, okay. We got our other guests. I don't see them. We got our other guests. Let me let them know I don't see them. We have our other guests because the other topic I think is going to set this podcast off today. Well, do you think it's based on what they've experienced in the past by the ways the things that we've done to them as far as cheating on them, maybe some domestic violence instances, being absent fathers, um, and I'm just giving some examples. I'm just trying to throw some on the dartboard, and hopefully, it'll stick. Do you think these are the reasons they may feel that way?
I mean, it could be possible, but when they say entitlement, I think that plays a factor as far as emotion. Don't get it twisted.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I mean, I can understand from the perspective of protection. That's a gimme. I don't think that's part of what that's like a trait a man got to do anyway. When it's like if you're in the house and hear noise, the first thing they come do is they come tell dad. If dad's in the home, let me say that. We're gonna say dad's in the home. They're gonna go tell the man, "Hey, somebody at the door." And number 10, the man's gonna go to the door because that's his nature to protect. Now do I believe some dudes, some men, you know, they don't protect the feelings of a woman because some of them, not to say they don't really care, but they are in tune to themselves and what they do outside of their relationship. Yeah. Do I blame them for that? No. But do I feel like, in a sense of how guys expounding it from the perspective, because you gotta look at the entitlement from a whole, not just from a protection perspective, but provider, a nurture. I mean, caring, emotional, spiritual. I mean, that's it runs a little deep
I
into
agree.
that perspective of. Well, I think those things are given. That's what I believe for a man, because a man gonna do that regardless. But
Mm-hmm.
it's on the level of how some women want it. A lot of men that I even some of my discussion groups I have men in, I have young men in those as well. Feel like that women feel like they have to be taken care of from the perspective. I'm just telling you what they're telling me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, as if they're taking care of a child. And I don't see it like that, but some men really see it because the things you do has to have this, she has to have that, she has to have this. And a lot of men feel like I'm giving you this, but what do you get from me? Because men I start to have this back like, what do you get from me? What about me? Because now I got to stand up. You got to earn for what you want, for what you desire. If I have to earn certain things, you have to earn that same walk of life. So it's a little deep in that perspective.
Mm. Now I'm having some feed on my end. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, I honestly believe that, because of everything that's happened in the past, that they feel that way now. And I can only speak what I thought, and these are my opinions. Sometimes is it overdone? I can believe so because I believe that the roles have reversed. So the entitlement has also taken on a role of power. You know, as a man, I really feel like everything that a man does is for a woman. That's the way I felt in the past. I felt
So
that
how
way
do
in
you
the
feel now?
past. I don't.
So how do you feel now?
I don't feel that way because of life's experiences. Um, I feel like some people may want their cake and eat it too.
Okay, so do you feel men aren't being men like yesteryear? Because I hear a lot of women tell me that men aren't being men anymore. And men's combative nature combats that with women's independency and their mindset affects that. Like,
I can agree with that. And I think because of the way we were reared, like we always had to be tough and macho. We couldn't be emotional. We couldn't be that way. And I think that now we're feeling more comfortable being the way that we were taught as kids, of ways that we couldn't be. So we can be more expressive. We can show our emotions more. And I think that because of the past and how people are reared, they look at us like we the shield. We the anything that go wrong, we can fix it. Anything, we are that person. So we can't be emotional. We being emotional, we too sensitive. We acting like a woman. That's just like kind of what we've been told. And I think the roles are actually or are changing with that. I think it's being more accepted, and I think it's due to more exposure to social media.
well, I seen some Chris Rock. Of course, I'm quite sure everybody's seen it. And I'm gonna hit y'all with a little bit something in a minute, but Chris and I seen this. Not he didn't. I seen something where Chris Rock made a statement, and a bunch of other men made a statement. They feel that women, children, puppies are loved unconditionally, but a man has to be loved. Maybe I'm paraphrasing it wrong. Under a condition that he has to provide something. In other words, to get love. It's like women get it off top,
Quid pro quo.
but it takes a pretty much. And,
Yeah.
and and men, we have to wait till a certain time to get what's beneficial for us. And a lot of women say that's not true, but in a sense, as a man, I can understand that is true. You know, you look at the dating process, right? And I'm not saying all women like this. God knows I don't run across some awesome people, some lady twisted, not from a dating, but just a conversation wise, who gave me expressing good things. I heard a gentleman say, how long? Look at how you date a woman. 2 or 3 dates, he's paying for it. He's doing. By the time a woman actually, some, not in all cases now, but some actually feel like, some brothers feel like, man, it be about the 4th or 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th date for a woman even decide to even pay for something.
Right.
Is that in every case? I don't believe that. But in some, yeah, there's a lot of them feel that. Because I heard a guy tell me, and women have said this before, some dudes, I'm stripping the gears a little bit here. It's like dating. I mean, how you say the roles have reversed. They used to say men go out with a girl or go out with a lady, take her out to dinner, and I would say he wants something at the end of the date, right?
Right.
Now finding that men saying that women are doing the same thing that they're doing, and some women are like, well, men do it, why can't we do it? I'm like, wow, wow, that's kind of deep on that one, but the game's been reversed, but we got to bring some excitement now. Tomorrow Valentine's Day. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day.
All right, man. We're gonna bring our next guest in with us, man.
Who is that, man?
Like to welcome y'all, Coach Rod. Coach Rod, what's going on, man?
How you doing?
Coach Rod, you on with
Everything good?
Shady and Shake?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Can
Can
you
you
hear
hear
me?
him? Yeah, we can. Can
All
you
right,
hear him,
then.
Shake?
So I can hear you. What you got going?
His voice rings in my ears. Y'all just don't understand how his voice rings in my ears. Next thing he gonna tell me when we get off, he gonna have me running about 10 wind sprints. I'm gonna leave it there right there. And I ain't even did nothing. I'm telling y'all just don't understand.
Well, while we got him here, because we
What's
only
happening,
have him for
Dre?
a limited time. All right, Coach Rod, very popular post on Facebook that you posted. Man, I want to dive right into that, Shake. Shake, you got to hear what he said. So, Coach Rod, can you project what you actually already put on Facebook for us so we can discuss it?
Yeah. What I put on Facebook was, let's turn black women back into black wives. And I posted that for a reason. I want to see what the mindset was, not only of young black men, but also black women. Because there are two things we really need to address in our community. One, the sexual revolution. As men, we have to accept the fact that some women are out there who act like guys. They want to get with somebody, see what it's about, and go on by their business. It's a problem for some guys. Secondly, you have the quote-unquote independent woman who may be financially independent, but she's still looking for a protector, someone who can provide and make her feel comfortable. And then thirdly, there's always that female who was raised to be a wife, but she's so selective in what she's looking for. And how many of us really measure up to that standard? If we're going to be honest about it, somebody posted it.
What you think about that, Shake?
I understand the post. I do. It means y'all don't understand. Me and Coach Rob, we don't have a conversation on the road talking about the situation. He knows. He knows. He been there. You know, that was my coach, so we talked a lot. It's interesting that, especially on, I want to dive in that third part. How many, I believe you said, want to be wise, but they're very selective. Let me ask you this question. Do you believe that women should be preparing to be a wife, even while dating someone? Because a lot of them don't feel like they should be doing wifely things while dating, or the boyfriend girlfriend stage. A lot of them don't feel that.
Well, okay. Here's my mindset on being a wife. And yes, I have a real big belief. You know, I'm solid in my conviction. But I don't think a woman or a man is a wife or a husband the day they sign papers. I just don't. I think the ceremony and all that, that's for your fans and families. You are a wife and you are a husband back when you're dating. When you're willing to make sacrifices for that other person. When you're willing to give up things that you normally would do for the happiness and well-being of your relationship and the person you're involved with. If you're not willing to sacrifice and lose or give up something for that person, why are you with them? The ceremony is for everybody else. Your actions dictate what you are.
I answer my question. Because you gotta look at 2023. I mean, it's people want the marital. I guess what we're gonna call it. What's the word I'm looking for? Themes. I can't find the word, but marital themes. They want things that married people do, male or female. But we talking wifey. They want those things, but some of them aren't willing to do their part to receive. That's what I'm hearing from a lot of men. Like, you want these wifely, activities. You want the bank. You want the protection. You want the financial security. You want the love. You want, the someone to be all over him, and you want all these things, but you're not doing what wifely things you should do. That's what men. That's their argument. They're validating for that. Now if we can flip the script, same thing with men. You can't sit there and say that you want a woman to be a wife when you're not doing husbandly things as well. So that there's a two-way. I mean, we can argue all day about women, but as men, ask yourself, well, you really doing in preparation. So when the ceremony, as you say, for the fan, I'm not saying the fan, but the fam and the friends come up, you are already in that mode where once the ceremony is done and the sun has, set, you go right back into the script where you left off.
I mean, at the end of the day, you got to question yourself in some areas. I never tell any man or woman what they need to do to be successful in their relationship, because every relationship is different. But what I would do as far as giving advice in that situation is help people understand that a modern woman, as they call themselves, wants a traditional man, don't be mad about what she desires because we have desires as well. But make sure you point out to her a traditional man normally wants a traditional woman. And does she fit the mold of what that used to be? And if she can't, what's the happy medium for both of you? Not saying you have to change it, but there has to be a common ground where you're both willing to accept things that you're going to do. Because right now, most people both have careers they're chasing. So no one is the person supposed to clean the house, do the cooking. There has to be some shared responsibilities in that.
Coach, does that still exist? Does traditional still exist in today's society?
Does it? You asking me, does it still exist?
Yes,
Let me
traditional.
let me ask you, in our community, does it still exist?
Um, does it exist? Yes. Does it exist in our community? We used to have it. No.
That's interesting.
To be honest about it, it does.
What? I had a young lady ask me a question, and she wanted for me to ask this question to you gentlemen. Can y'all describe what is a wife and what is a husband in you guys' eyes? She wanted to know. She wanted me to ask y'all that question.
It's God.
A true definition? That what you're
Yeah,
asking for, or our personal definition?
either or. Give me your true
Okay.
definition. You give me both of them if you like.
My my views on what's a wife, what's a husband. Um, a husband is a provider, a protector. A husband is someone who goes the extra mile for his family. A husband is the one who sacrifices and does certain things to provide the lifestyle and the convenience for his family. The husband is the person who makes a certain income that can provide for his family. The wife is the person he gives that to that turns his house into a home. The wife is the person who, hey, babe, we need X amount of groceries in the house. She provides his meal. She helps him understand how to come home and be at peace. She supports him even when she disagrees with him, but points out her disagreement in such a fashion that he's more willing to accept it and maybe even change. She's the one who, even in intimacy, when she's intimate with him, she's willing to give her body for him to produce a seed, somebody else that may or may not look just like him. So she's the person who not necessarily completes him, but she's that person who makes him feel completed. See, at the end of the day, we're all individuals who choose to be with somebody else to make ourselves a couple, not to complete ourselves. If you go into a relationship needing somebody else to complete you, you should have never entered that relationship.
Ooh, that was deep.
What you think, Shady? I want to hear yours. I got to hear yours. Man. You be on some shady stuff.
Hey man, I already told you, man. I feel like the union between a husband and wife is through God, or through whomever you believe in. I believe that's where it starts. I have to piggyback off my frat brother. You know what I'm saying? Our frat brother. I'm sorry, but like I said, the man who's supposed to be the provider, supposed to be the security, and I think the woman is the nurturer, and she's also supposed to be your peace. That's what I define the marriage as from a husband and a wife. That's how I look at it now. But that's why I kind of asked Coach the question: does traditional still exist? Because I think it don't. I think that today being a husband and a wife is more based on, and I keep using my word today as society. A lot of people get together based on a financial means. I don't have a problem with that. I understand it's tough out here these days. So why not give somebody, make the income bigger? You both living a better life. I don't think it's completely about love now. I think it's more materialistic. That's the way I feel.
Well, I'm gonna slide mine in real quick because I know we got to move to the next subject. I think, in my opinion, uh, we know what a man's role is. We all have to find it, what that role is. also have to find the role of a woman. But I think it gets a little deeper because we have to understand that all those things are based on how well off we are. But in my opinion, if you don't have two things, you don't have God and you don't have love, that relationship can fail because you can have all the money you want, it can be taken away from you. And then it will really show if you just based off love for us to stay together to get back to where we got to go, or was it based off material? Because when something is gone, sometimes people gone with it, and then you that too, you become handicapped and you depend on it instead of depend on the love that we have to build it because something's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough times get you through a lot of things that money can sometimes get you through, to be honest with you. And sometimes when you're not in tune with one another, especially me, I'm a pastor, you gotta be I feel like when you two people who can pray together, if you can pray together, I believe you can stay together. Why? Because it takes time to express to one another. Not only to each other, but to God. Hey man, we may not have right now, but we gonna get there. Because I read a story one time. He was a millionaire. He met a woman. He lost everything. Everybody got mad because he married that woman. But he loved that woman so much he didn't care about her. A year later, he got that woman end up being a blessing, inheriting some money. Gave him the money. He doubled what he had prior to. But he said it wasn't the fact what she inherited. It was the fact that he enjoyed the love that he had for that woman. Society has brung, and like Coach Ross said, the tradition, and especially in our community, it just ain't that no more. It's all about a look, in my opinion. It's about a look. Everybody wants to look a certain way and feel a certain way. I mean, I don't knock it. That's you. But I think the influence has affected us more than anything because we don't pursue love. We pursue what can we do for each other financially, or how can we look, or does our child have the best this, or which we all know we gonna do that regardless. We not talking about these deadbeats. We're not gonna talk about. We talking about us being providers, us being leaders. Because sometimes, I crack jokes, but one of the most men who showed me what leadership was the man right there. I mean, y'all gotta understand, he stayed on me, but he showed me what it was. It was tough love, and I think a lot of times in a relationship, no one wants to intertwine with that tough love, and they shy away from it. They call it toxicity. That's the new term, but that tough love makes love. Sometimes, a woman gets on a man gets on a woman, but we're working toward that. So I think that it's sad to me in a sense because we're not planning for love. We're planning for a materialistic way of living. That's the way I see it.
And before Coach Rod jump back in, Shay, I want to say, like, that's why I say traditional don't exist no more. If you look at a lot of these households now, the way it was traditionally, like you said, the man is pretty much the breadwinner. But if you look at a lot of these households now, you got the women who are ended up being leaders, even though they saying they not want to lead and they saying they have to. I don't agree with that part, but I do see it. You have these women who are leaders of their household with being married. The woman is the breadwinner, and then the thing about us, I can't speak on all men, but for myself, I know pride is something that is the epitome of who I am because, without my pride, my pride relates to my word, and my word is my bond. And if I feel like I can't provide that, I feel like I'm useless in the terms of being in that union with someone.
I disagree. I disagree.
Coach?
I disagree.
I got to go in a few minutes, but
Yeah.
let me ask y'all a slightly loaded question. Why is it okay for a man to date a chick, live with her, have kids by her, and never marry her?
Why is it okay?
Yeah. I mean, that's a more accepted practice than it is for a man to meet a woman, date her, marry her, and then start his life with a family with her. We have the order messed up.
Yep.
That's what you say, because back in the day, but in my opinion, y'all men, you have to really ask yourself the first question. Did that man really see that woman as being a wife? That's the first question you got. I mean, we can bypass our stuff. You really have to ask yourself, did that man see that woman as being his wife? I mean, I know people say, well, he seen her have a child with her. I mean, he laid down with her. So that's number one. I mean, no, none. I tell women, men don't practice, want to make a baby. Like we don't. I mean, we like not in the sense that I just want this girl to have a baby, but we practice that more than honestly understanding can this woman be my wife? Can I actually see myself at this being with this woman for the rest of my life? And I don't think men actually going in and seeing it. I think they just seeing it for the, she's, we together, right now, and we just living for the right now sometimes. Instead of seeing, can this woman actually be my wife? Because I hear a lot of men say that, sometimes, and I ask them, why do you stay then? Then they get comfortable. So, I mean, that's why I believe. I mean, you got to access that, just that man see that woman as his wife.
Well, I'm gonna defer for coach because I know coach say he got to go. So I guess I got to answer this question. Um, man, coach, can you pose that question one more time?
Why is it more easily accepted that a man can date a woman, live with her, have kids with her, but never marry her, compared to meeting a woman, dating her, marrying her, and then beginning his family with her?
I think it has to do with exposure. I think with the rise of social media, you see everything and everybody want everything quick and fast, almost like a competition. So like, you'll put it out there on social media like you went through that process, what you just said, and it's really all good. But in actuality, it's like the way you actually explained it, like everything's rushed. And then the end game is not actually being married to this person. I think it's media because you see everything. Once you see more, I think you become more envious towards other things. And I think you become comfortable in that lifestyle. That's my opinion.
And another thing, that's what we used to see. I mean,
Yep.
I was born in the '70s, but I came later on down the line, and that's what we used to accustom to seeing because it didn't start, all of a sudden. It's been going on for years, and we're used to seeing that, I have heard a story about, I remember a situation dealing with someone I know. They was together 10 years, but was the fiance for 5, but never made it to the altar. You know, in our community, that's what we see. Men living with women, making kids, and all of a sudden, the man going one way, the woman going a whole nother way. One gets married, one may not get married till later on. But in our community, that's what we see because that's what we're accustomed to. Back in the day, it used to be 2, 3 months. Man or woman, he married, longevity. No one wants to strive for 25 plus years of marriage. You're lucky if you even last 5 years with an individual because divorce rate is actually higher this day and age. You know, so it's back to, I mean, it's what we are accustomed to. Things, that's the mentality. It's almost like having a broken mind. It's hard to repair that mind if the mind isn't willing to change and move from that state of mind.
I hope we answered you, coach. I hope we gave you that the answer that you were looking for.
Well, it's not a right or wrong answer. I just wanted to hear other people's opinions.
Okay.
But we'll pick this up at a later date. Let me go back and finish taking care of some business. And thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Hey, Coach Rod Wilson.
Good
Rod
see
Wilson.
you. Run, dude. Okay, we gotta run.
All right, man. We're gonna get Coach Rod back in here when he's available too. Like I say, he has to leave. He has other obligations. But hey, man, it's been interesting so far, Shay. It's been real, man. And like I really wish, we had an outlook or we were able to get a female into this conversation to actually, give us their side of it because, once again, this show is the Valentine's Day edition from a male's perspective. So, it's what we feel and it's speculation about how they feel. And like you said, we're learning
Well,
a lot from. Oh, go ahead.
I believe that most women, a year or two in dating a man, I do believe they can see marriage. When they in a good foundation, a good way, I do believe they see it. They know in their heart, this can be potentially a good thing if he come on and just whatever. But it goes back to like I said earlier. The Bible says, "He that findeth the wife findeth a good thing and obtains favor from God." The first thing a man has to figure out is this: do I actually see this as a wife? I understand dating, and sometimes, like, I got a sauce. If anybody know who sauce is, we'll bring sauce on one day. Sauce, he told me one day, he said when he first seen his wife, he knew that was his wife. And other people I have talked to, other guys who are married, I said, when did you know that was your wife? Some say it took a little time. Some say after year one or two. Women feel like, right then and there. Like I tell women, sometimes that's not always the case. Some cases it is, and some cases it isn't. It depends on that man. And I do agree with that man because I was a part of that, staying with a woman, making kids. Men, I've been that road, and it's hard as a youngster to see because sometimes we let, men sometimes foolish things with good women. Those who've been good to us, we lose out. Let me be honest with you. But a lot of times I do believe that women do see marriage. They want marriage. They want to be married. They don't want to have to get back out and start over again. They want to, we good, man, let's go and get married like it up. Let's just be together forever.
Right.
But a man has to have that mentality. Don't wait till you get 100 and then decide to get married. I know a lot of women see that, but some of men do. And I think it's because also what we see as men. So, you see your cousin, your homeboys, they got about 50 women. You think that's the mentality that you have too. And you think that's cool. And some women don't understand that's what we see.
Yeah.
We see that sometimes we believe that's the concept when actuality that's wrong.
Right.
It's okay to date and find, that 100, she looking good, smelling good, she got a place, she got her stuff together. She's selfless, not selfish. It makes a man go, okay, maybe I need to focus my time on this woman, And then you have to have communication about a relationship, especially if you got kids, if you got one or two, and she wants another one. Do you really want to? It's a lot that pour into that to understand that how to get to the next level. Now, I know people you got to financial. It's a lot going to this.
Right.
That's a big topic, my man.
Yeah, hey, that's true, man. Like you said, it's that birds of a feather flock together concept, and I think that, universally, men, we are looked at one way. So if you're a good one or you different, you're considered rare. I don't think that's fair. I don't think all men are the same. We may do some things that may be similar, but we're not the same at all. And once again, I think it goes back to how we were reared. Like you were talking about last week, Shake. We were talking about single parent households. Like I said, I can speak for yourself and myself. Like we did experience being in single parent households at times throughout our life. So, we going about what we see, and then we actually learned how to become men from men outside of the home. You know what I'm saying? The homeboys or, coaches or, that's how we learn to become like who we are. Like for myself, I know there's something that could be cliche-ish, like we kind of frown upon women on Father's Day saying I was the mom and the dad, but I can honestly say my sister did a hell of a job teaching me how to become the man that I am today. Like she did everything she could, you know what I'm saying? And she helped to groom me to become the man that I am. And, I know they were like, well, she's not a woman. So how can she teach you how to be a man? She had other influences, male figures that helped to influence her. And where she took the information from them and she taught me, so I just feel like, when it comes to that, like you said, relationships now, I was in that position too. And Shake, you already know what time it was. I was with a young lady for 8 years, no commitment, no thoughts of actually marrying at that time because I was afraid. I was second guess myself. Like, do I really want to marry this woman? Is this who I want to be with? And, so, we end up having a child together, and that it changed my perspective, and, I was like, you know what? Maybe this is the woman that I should marry because she was with me when I didn't have nothing. So I really valued that because I'm like, when I came up, I want to come up with me because she was there when I didn't have it. So I felt comfortable being with her because I can appreciate her even more because when I didn't have, she was right there with me. So, dealing with somebody from the outside and they're looking at you like you have it, you already kind of guarded because like, hey, are you really with me for who I am or for what I am? So
One thing,
I'm more concerned about the who.
one thing, I'm gonna speed this up. I know we got to get ready to leave this. My one thing I can say, my father was, boy, he used to give me some cliches. I ain't lying to you. My dad, woo, Lord, my father always told me this. And one thing I can say from a male perspective, that man used to tell me some stuff. I ain't lying to you. My father always told me, handle your business, be careful, be mindful. If you're gonna be with him, not, move around. My dad used to tell me that. I can honestly say that. My father did. Me being me, then listen. I think men got a lot of things messed up. This the main problem that concerns me about me. If the woman's there when I'm down, then I'm a keeper. I get it as a man. I get it. I do. But a lot of times, to me, if a person's gonna be there whether you up or down, in my opinion, they're gonna be there. Because if a person love is selfless, and me being me, growing up and being in relationships, and some relationships, my dad get on me about, we talk or whatever. I learned things differently. I guarded myself a lot because I always wanted, you know, it, and this woman even protect my heart. And I ain't saying protect, she gonna protect me regardless, from the perspective of, whatever. But can she actually protect me? Because sometimes some people wear their hearts on them, but some people don't even open their heart. And a lot of times as men, you can pour yourself to somebody, you know. And one thing my dad, he right here, he tell you, he said, if she open, she should be able to receive it. But a lot of times, us growing up, like you said earlier, you mentioned earlier, was we to be tough, and
Yep.
sometimes our toughness affected us dealing with women emotionally. Now we're grown and open. Back then in some of my relationships I had dealing with women, back in the day, I was never that open because I felt like, man, what's we telling you for? Because I felt like women sometimes hear, they had a selective hearing. You hear, if it's beneficial for you, you listen. If not, you can care less. But now that I got older, I have to realize that sometimes as a man, I got to speak my piece. If she's willing to accept it, then cool. If she doesn't, then cool. Because I have to get it out instead of holding it in. As men, we hold a lot of things. We do. We hold a lot, a lot in to the point where we don't have a safe space. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. I know love is in the air. People want to give gifts, and they're gonna do they love Valentine, regiment. Whatever. Congratulations those who do. But I think tomorrow for most of men, I can't speak for women because I ain't no woman, but most men, the one thing I want men to take from tomorrow is the appreciation of being open more. When you finally decide to step into a situation, or I'm sorry, a relationship, not a situation, because I'm tired of situationships, because situationships is killing
What about
all.
entanglements?
We have to, we got to separate them. We got to really separate that because it's like a knot, and then depending on how tight that knot is, it could be hard to get out of it. You know, I get it, I understand it, but at the same time, this sneaky link, this, you know, if you, if a man want to find a woman, he has to find the one for him that fits him, that he feels can validate him as a man. Now he's complete because he's a man, but here's the kicker: if you look at a pizza, right?
Right.
It could be a pepperoni. One side could be loaded, but the other side can be missing something. You know what I'm saying? But when you actually get a good pizza that's loaded with full pepperoni, that's the completion. See, you still the pizza with the pepperoni regardless. You can't get a half a slice of pizza that got half pepperoni, you full. Nah, don't work like that. You gotta find the one just as full and want it just as bad as you. What I mean by that, find love. Quit trying to find a convenience or as what you bring to the table. What's your credit score? What's this here? Because we don't want to listen. Let me tell you, some tough times make great love. Because when you look back and see what we done been through together as people, and we love one another in spite of what we didn't have, and then when you finally get it together, and y'all were able to travel, y'all were able to go place and do things, buy cars, buy homes, buy property. That seemed beautiful because I know a couple on Facebook who've been together for so long. I know, and they've been together for years, and I follow a lot of them, and I hear a lot of their stories how it was tough at the beginning, but the love they had for one another kept the passion to keep going for better. Because you can come in with better and not have no love, and y'all just there because of what's convenient. He got a good job, she got a good job, we got a nice home, but we deal with each other on a just because type of basis because I'm here and I deal with you. I would rather be in a relationship. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would rather be in love with a woman. If we may not have much, but we got love. But one day, one thing people gotta understand: eventually, we got to ascend to the top. Versus me being at the top and they ain't got nothing. And all I got is all this money, but we ain't got no love. Because I'm still headed straight to the bottom. So tomorrow, Valentine's Day, man, if you in love, show not just your man, show your woman the same way. Women tomorrow, Valentine's Day, it's for men too. It's for men too, lady. It's for men too. Y'all act like it's everything, I'm speaking about, y'all, everything they always about y'all. So get that man some love too.
Oh my
Get that
God.
man too. I'm just being honest, man.
All right, Shake. I
women,
want. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir.
go ahead.
I want to ask you a question, man. Like, so we on a verge of becoming 44-year-old men. We've lived
Hey, you
almost
just
half of a century.
feel like that? Yeah, man.
Hey, man. We had to let the people know, man. We transparent here, aren't we?
Yeah, you're right. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Look, man. From where we've been to where we are now, man. What does Valentine's Day actually mean to you? In one statement, a paragraph, maybe 3 sentences. What does Valentine's Day mean to you? And I'm just telling you to sum it up from when you were young up to where you are now.
Nothing. It means absolutely nothing. I have women gonna be mad when they say something. It means nothing to me. I'm gonna tell you why. If one day out the year is of more importance to make you feel a certain way for one day outside of your birthday, maybe an anniversary, and maybe Christmas, that is horrible to me. Now, you may not get 365. You may not get 340. You may not even get 200. But every day should be treated as Valentine's. You don't have to give a gift all the time. You can walk in and hug your woman, squeeze your woman, encourage your woman, talk to your woman. You know what I'm saying? Whatever y'all do on that physical level, that's on you guys. But you have to understand charity, which is love, biblically speaking, it's the main thing. Because you got to understand, man, none of us hang around anybody date anyone that we can't actually see that we can actually grow to love. I get it. It's Valentine's Day, especially to some people for one day to make you feel like you're the greatest gift since sliced bread. I'm talking about the ones in the middle because that's the good part of the bread. But if I gotta wait till the middle part of the bread to taste, to feel how good that bread is, I'm really wasting my. I want to know from that, even that beginning piece is good. That's me. That's me. I'm not waiting for one day to just be miraculous. I want to show you as much as I possibly can.
Well, do you think that Valentine's Day may supposed to have been a holiday to really love out loud? Is that the day you're supposed to project your love to let the world see who the person who you love and care for?
Why I gotta show the world about my love towards her? My job is to show her how I love.
Hey, I'm just asking the question. I'm just asking a question about that day because you did say nothing. That's your
I
feeling.
just think I just think it's a made up day. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's a made up day about the dollar. Project the economy, boost it up a little bit. Because let me tell you something, man. When you love a woman, and I want women to really hear me when I tell y'all this, ladies. This is why I understand what men say. When you love a woman, he's gonna give you everything regardless because he loves you. He wants to see you smile. He wants to see you. He wants to adore you. I remember one time I asked you a question. I don't know if you remember this question. I'm in a particular situation.
Uh-oh.
I said, "Man, how did you know about
shaking
a
it.
situation?"
He doing it right now.
I'm just saying, it's the truth though.
Okay.
My father, I asked him the same question. He said, when you're willing to rush home through traffic to get a woman just to hear, to see her voice, just to look at her, man, you missed her. You ain't that's love. I don't want to rush home just to take her to dinner, just so I can please her for one day and like okay, I please her for one day, and I go back to being regular the next day. No man, that ain't. I'm just being honest with you. That's how I was. I'm like man, I'm just gonna do whatever. I go back next day. That's not exactly. That's yeah. Love, man, y'all keep talking about this Valentine's Day is about love. But ask yourself, is it really based on love? Or is it based on showing out? Which one it is?
I think it'd be lust too, Shay. To be honest with you, because
A lot
you know a lot of people getting booty. I mean, I'm sorry, my good pastor, please excuse me. I mean, you know, babies are being made, and it's going down. We seeing lingerie. You know, it's going down on Valentine's Day for a lot of people. Q. I mean, we
what
populating the earth on Valentine's Day.
they're gonna have to wait till they get out work. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you. But the other thing too, it's about that too. But when you have to understand about that word love, it's a separation. Both of them are 4-letter words, love and lust. Both one can get you into an entanglement, one can get you to a lifetime. You got to understand the difference. And that's the most beautiful part about it. It's selfless.
Is that Mr.
Because
Kemp Washington we hear in the background, everyone?
That's father. That's father, right? Yes, it is.
Is that Mr. Kemp Washington? Okay,
This is
we
my
are
father.
in the presence of a legend. We got to hear him on his horn, Shake. We got to hear him on his horn.
Okay, there you go, right there. That's him right there.
How y'all doing today?
How you doing? How you doing, Mr. Washington?
I'm outstanding, man. Y'all talking about a good subject, man. You know, as a veteran of this thing called love, you know, um, love is put to me. You're no longer yourself when you're in love, man. You're not. You're no longer yourself because you deny yourself for someone else. It's like you are a person's drowning. You're the life raft, and they're yours. You know, y'all are saver for each other. Yeah, you know, man. Love takes. First of all, you got to know who you are in love. Know about love yourself. You know what love define and mean to you. And I believe they say God put a man and woman together.
He did.
And
Yes,
see,
he did.
that's our point. Sometimes lust put us together. Y'all was talking
Right.
about something about getting with a woman. Yeah, all of us don't got with women, man. We don't sit around here and we don't obligated ourselves to them because listen, she got a baby by me. But damn, I don't like how she do this thing over there. I don't like that, but I've been with her for a year, and we don't sit around and invest in some things. We got comfortable, and I don't feel like going out there rebuilding. No. The point is, we shouldn't start it. First of all, we shouldn't start it because we don't know what we're doing. That's our point. We haven't been trained to. Nobody's told us about that. We did, but we haven't really did any diligent research on what love is about. What's having a partner? What's having a life? Because it's a life partner, man. You want a person, man, that if I get, just say I'm the breadwinner, right? And I've been taking care of her for the last 3-4 years, and all of a sudden something happened to me. I'm handicapped now, and she might have to treat me like a baby. Is she willing to clean my body?
In other words, take care of you.
Is she willing to feed me? Is she willing to go that extra distance? Is she willing to sweat as she would do? It's the same thing. She got to treat you like she treat a baby. Is she willing to go that? Because women love their babies, man. They'll kill you behind that. And that's the kind of love that you
Absolutely.
need. It's easy if people make their mind up. But the point is, they don't make their mind up. They don't know what they're doing. They don't. I think I think pastors out there need to have, before I even marry somebody, I was a pastor, we're gonna have almost like a curriculum on relationship, what it takes for relationship. Most relationship, I find that people, their mothers and cousins and everybody else always a part of that.
So they got an influence.
Yeah, all that influence. Yeah. No, man, what my mother selected, I don't like the Negroes my mother selected. I can't be that. She chose that. She could have chose 9,000 men in this world. She chose that. So I said, hey, that's what she liked. I didn't like that situation. So therefore, I got to choose my own lane when it comes down to falling in love. And all of us don't fall in love if we thought we love. So you give people, you like, damn, you kind of crazy.
Yep.
And you try to see, the point is, if you have a relationship with somebody you love, they gonna say, okay, good, I damn sure leave the lights on in the house, and we know we got to pay the light bill. I got every light on, and he gonna tell me 15 times before I leave out here, turn that light off. Turn the light off. Before you know it, the bill done went up $15, $20. The kids need a new pair of shoes. You know where that 15, 20 went? It went on that those bills that I told you we can add some extra money to. Are we going to go on vacation? See, you gotta have a schedule about your life and your relationship. That's what I believe. We gonna plan together. We gonna say, baby, we gonna go on vacation in June. So therefore, we gonna put together the X amount of dollars to get to that point. See, it's a lot, man. It's
Communication.
easy. Yeah, communication. And you can't be women making money fine. Men don't care about. I don't care about my mama making money. I want her to make money. But I don't want her to think that she's masculine because she'll make the money.
Right.
Women do make money. Just right now, if your wife making $100,000, you making $50,000, should she disrespect you because you?
My point proven on that.
Absolutely
I agree. That's
not.
why I said
Right.
earlier about how you feel that I apologize getting my camera together, y'all. That you feel less of a man. I don't agree with that because in some situations it may happen. That don't make you less of a man because you don't make it. You still a man regardless.
Right.
It's all about he understands. Okay, I know I make more money than man. I get that part, but I'm not gonna disrespect him and make him feel less of a man. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna give him his output. I'm still gonna blase. I'm still gonna we are together. Of course, outside people gonna have some outside noise. It is what it is, but it's determined by her love for you that determines that. Because if a woman loves, she should never let you feel less than what you are. I can honestly say that she should never feel, and vice versa. A man should never feel a woman make her feel less of a woman. I hear women, I've done that before. A woman tell you make me feel less of a woman. How you XYZ, and it took me a minute to understand that she's right. I did. It shouldn't take that. We make relationships so complicated because of these rules, these regulations. If this don't happen, if it ain't this, it ain't this. Because we look at everybody else's relationships and they feel if it should go like this here. If we got our thing, let us do our thing.
Right.
Now I can't keep up with the Joneses and the Jacksons, but we gonna keep up with the Jameses. We're gonna do our own thing. You know what I'm saying? If they throw 50 million parties once a year, you feel like, baby, we can just have a family together. Cool, with guys, ain't no thing. We can work this thing together. In today's thing, they working on more of how to be stable and live stable than working more how to love and be in love to understand what stability is. Because in my opinion, I know love don't pay no bills. True, we all got to work and grind. I get that, but why would I be with you just because of financial stability?
Well, see, son, I say this also. Where's the head? What determines the head?
Ooh.
Where's the? You got
we got to continue. We got to continue this conversation. Shay, we got to continue this one.
No, we got it. No doubt. No diggity, no doubt. No diggity, no doubt.
We'll have to continue this one. Hey, y'all, we about at our time. This has been the Shake and Shady, the Shady and Shake Hour. Make sure you tune in to us. We're looking at right now moving our time to later at night. We're also looking at doing this twice a week. So that's something that we're actually working through right now. But we have to continue this conversation. Shake, we got to figure out when we can do it because this is some really good information. And I mean, I think it's good for the women to actually hear from a male perspective because they're always asking us what men really want. So I really want to continue this conversation, so we can actually put it out there. So hopefully we can get back with this conversation with Win Shake. What will be good for you, sir?
I can do it Friday. I do my thing Friday. Yeah,
all right, so Friday is going to be the post Valentines Day edition from a male's perspective. And hopefully we can get the legend himself, Mr. Kemper.
After the love has happened.
Yep. We get Mr. Washington back in the building too. Hopefully we can get him back in here so we can continue this conversation.
But I might have to slide for a minute to get back in. I'm at the slide over here. Just let me know the time. We gonna do what we do.
All right, y'all. Like I said, that's our show, man. It's Shake and Shady. We appreciate y'all watching. We go holla.